Do you want to create crazy forward shaft lean with your irons? In today's video, I talk through with this training aid and my golf bag exactly how you can do it. There are multiple benefits to getting your hands ahead of the golf ball and creating forward shaft lean. That's hitting easier, that's creating a better strike and hitting those longer irons better. They're all things that we want to do and all things that we struggle to do. So in today's video, I solve the problem for you. You could start to work on all these factors right in your living room. We all want to have that ability to get our hands ahead of the golf ball, create that beautiful strike, especially with the long irons, but for matter of fact with all our irons. Now, common faults that I see when people get their hands ahead of the golf ball, number one, they get very tense and the whole body becomes very tense and we start to lose club head speed because of this. But also, as we get our hands ahead of the golf ball, we start to leave that face open to the right. So our strike is compromised and our speed is now compromised as well. So all in all, it becomes a little bit of a factor which sends us backwards potentially. Potentially you guys that are scooping it and flicking it may be better off at the moment until you watch this video doing that, because you're actually losing speed, you're losing control of that club face. So what do we need to happen at impact to get our hands ahead of the golf ball? There's a list of three. I'm going to put it down to a list of three things that really need to happen at impact in order for you to get your hands ahead of the golf ball. Number one, we're going to start with the hand. There needs to be a little bit of bowiness of our lead wrist as we come into the golf ball, okay? This is going to allow us to keep that club face square as we come in. If we don't have this sense of this happening, we get our hands ahead of the golf ball and our face points excessively to the right. Now that's just a recipe for disaster and something that I touched on earlier. Two other points that I really want to see happen at impact is the lower half starts to open and the shoulders start to open up as well. The lower half works further than the shoulders, but we all start to see a lot more rotation as we come through the golf shot. The final point on this list, that we have to be relaxed as we do this. We don't want to be into this and tensing up because we're losing the speed and we lose the control. So there are three things that with this drill I'm aiming to help you achieve. So let's get straight into what the drill is. Now, I'm not usually a very big advocate of training aids. I sometimes think they are false and they don't actually give us a sense of what's actually happening in our swing. I quite like this one though, the 300-yard impact. Have a quick closer look at this now. So what we want to achieve here is, this is going to talk through the points. This is going to help us achieve that bowedness of our lead wrist. I've got my golf bag here, but you could do this at home, and that is the reason why I like this. This training aid, you could start to work on all these factors right in your living room. And anytime we can do that, I think the more reps sometimes we can get off the ball, especially when trying to make an improvement like this, it's very, very handy. So what with this training aid, what we're looking for here, so we're looking for points in this order again. Hands ahead of the golf ball, pad to hit the bag, because that keeps the club face square. And as we do this, we're going to let the body move with us into the bag, into the bag, into the bag. So we're trying to get this padded part into the bag. Now notice here, if I get my hands ahead of the golf ball and I don't get this bowedness of my lead wrist, you can see how this pad doesn't point into the bag. So the way I would speak about this is almost like a laser on the end of here, and this allows me to get the feeling into the golf bag. Now, I wouldn't do too many reps with that, but just to get a feeling of what we're trying to achieve gives us a great sense, because if we had a wall here, we could post it into the wall, open up into the wall, and we're hitting all the factors. Remember to be relaxed as we do this into the golf bag. So everything about this is something that I think we should do off the golf ball. So let's now have a look on the golf ball how we can apply that. So now we know exactly what we're looking for in terms of the bag, in terms of the pad. So if we had our wall here, we're looking for the lower half and upper half to open up. I'm feeling that we get a bowedness with the lead wrist. Now again, I would do this in a nice fluid, soft motion, because in all essence, we're trying to get these hands ahead of the ball but in a very realistic fashion that hopefully replicates what happens at impact. Just want to touch on this brief point before we hit one away here. If we just look at what the difference is between our address position and what we have at impact. So we start here at address. We're looking to get these hands ahead of the golf ball. Remember before, people put their hands ahead of the golf ball, body stays quite static, and this face starts to point very much to the right. Now, I want you to feel that we do it in this order. We're going to add a bowedness to the lead wrist, impact bag to the golf bag, open up the lower half, and have a look where we are now. We're really starting to come onto the toes of my right foot, weight and pressure into the left, and we're really starting to get a move which looks like hands ahead of the golf ball and a club face that is square. And that's an important point I want to reiterate to you. So without further ado here, how can you formulate a practice session? I would do a few reps feeling this, putting the pressure in the ground, feeling the position, walk into the shot, hit the shot away. And that's going to give you a great sense of hands ahead of the golf ball, but controlling that club face. Let's now hit this one away. I would start off by doing it a little bit slower to begin with, not full shots, and build it up. Nice and relaxed. 3 points. Impact bag to the golf bag. Rotation. Relaxed. And hopefully we start to create mini versions that we can build up into the full shot. And that's the key thing there. Mini versions to full shots is a great way to improve your golf swing. Thank you for watching today's video on Elliott Golf. If you did enjoy the content, guys, I would love for you to be a part of this channel. So please do comment what content you would like to have on in the future, and please do consider subscribing. Thank you very much, and see you next time.